Mount Healthy City Schools regular meeting. This is a meeting of the Board of Education in public and is not to be considered a public meeting. Could we have a roll call, please?
Yes. Mrs. Anderson?
Present.
Ms. Bryant? Mrs. Ellis?
Present.
Mr. Kilgore?
Here.
Dr. Turner?
I'm here.
Okay, can we stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Nobody minds. Oh, sure.
Are we doing this in
They
executive?
shouldn't.
Okay, we're going into executive session to consider the appointment, employment, dismissal, discipline, promotion, demotion, or compensation of a public employee or official. Oh, okay, can I get a motion, please?
So moved.
Okay. Y'all have any questions? Okay. Roll call?
Mrs. Anderson?
Yes.
Ms. Bryant? Ms. Ellis?
Yes.
Mr. Kilgore?
Yes.
Dr. Turner?
Yes.
Any additions or corrections to the agenda? Well, we came back at 6:32. Okay, can I get a motion to accept the agenda for today?
So moved.
Second.
I figure you don't have no questions, so roll call.
Mrs. Anderson?
Yes.
Ms. Bryant? Mrs. Ellis?
Yes.
Mr. Kilgore?
Yes.
Dr. Turner?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, this is on the reading and signing of minutes, the minutes of the regular meeting held on February the 6th, and the special meetings held on February the 1st, February the 10th, and February the 22nd. Can I have a motion to accept it?
So moved.
Second.
Any questions? Okay, can we have a roll call, please?
Mrs. Anderson?
Yes.
Ms. Bryant? Mrs. Ellis?
Yes.
Mr. Kilgore?
Yes.
Dr. Turner?
Yes.
Thank you.
I know it's gotta be another page. Okay. All right, under special orders, anything from the Mount Healthy Teachers Association?
Yeah, this was on the agenda, but I wanted to bring your attention to it as well. With the help of Dr. Diamond, we applied for the OEA Whisper Grant, and we, received $4,180, and that will be used toward, hygiene products for the two elementaries, the junior high and the high school, as well as basic clothing items for all of the buildings, cabinets to store them in. Dr. Diamond realized the level of need of these products, and so she brought it to my attention. I was able to get someone from each building to participate in it, and we sent it off, and we were awarded it, so we're very excited about it.
Is this for all the buildings?
The two elementaries, the junior high and the high school, so not the ELC.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, I hope not.
Yeah.
All right, thank you very much. All right, we got any communications or announcements?
No.
Okay. We got a presentation?
Yes.
As I possibly can. But I want to brag on our elementary teachers a little bit.
You need your computer started. But you should have a mic. I'll give her mine. Oh, can you turn her on?
Ready? I have to.
Because I've streamed recording.
All right. So I wanted to, first of all, thank you for having me to speak, Board and Dr. Hawkins. I wanted to take this time to talk a little bit about what we've been doing in the area of math in elementary in particular. So our journey started about 2 years ago, close to 2 years ago, and we partnered with a group called Instruction Partners.
We were the only district in the state to get awarded this partnership, and through this partnership, we learned a tremendous amount about selecting high-quality instructional materials for our students. So we started that partnership by looking at our own instruction within Mount Healthy. Specifically, we started looking in the elementaries at the way we delivered math instruction and our resources around math instruction. And we knew we needed to strengthen up particular areas around student discourse and just kind of the rigor of our materials that we were presenting to our elementary students. So we began that journey with elementary teachers, and we started by kind of defining what we wanted our math to look like in the elementary schools. We knew that it needed to be a combination of kind of a conceptual and procedural approach. We really needed the students to understand what numbers meant, how they work together, and then how to apply them in real life, rigorous situations. So we started by exploring some materials that kind of fit those principles. And we knew that those materials, again, needed to be presented in a way that was coherent and had a progression of learning that was seamless. So each year they would build on a concept that they had learned the year before. Nothing was taught in isolation. So we started looking at these materials for our students. And it was not an easy task because, as I'm sure you can imagine, publishers publish all kinds of materials and they say that theirs is the best of the best. So our job was to really kind of look from within.
Excuse me, I believe the batteries.
So we began to look at our materials and kind of look within and try to decide what we wanted our instruction in elementary to look like for math. So we went to our Objective 1 committee. We have an Objective 1 committee for the district that's a representative of teachers, building administrators, district personnel that kind of meet together at least once a month to kind of push the academic progress of the district forward. And as a collective group last year, we decided that this is what we want our math instruction within Mount Healthy to look like. We developed a mission statement collaboratively. Everybody had input. We kind of came together, brainstormed, got some ideas down on paper, revisited it, revised it, and then landed on this close to the end of the year. In addition to that, once we had our mission statement, we knew what we wanted our instruction to look like within the elementaries. We developed a plan called the MAP, and it stands for the Mathematical Achievement Plan. And within this plan, it's a multi-page document that we just kind of use in district to decide how we want our math instruction to progress over the next several 3 to 5 years, how we're going to make those improvements. So once all that work was done, then we got the ability to kind of develop our pillars of math instruction. And we knew just to kind of make it bite-sized and chunkable, we would outline these as our pillars of math instruction. So these are what we were looking for when we were going to select the materials for our elementary math curriculum. I had a team of about 19 to 20 people, all volunteer elementary teachers that were willing to kind of dive into this with me. We used a very, very strict and rigorous rubric that we evaluated 2 particular products. The first one is an illustrative math product. It's published by Imagine Learning, and our second product we piloted was Eureka Math Squared. So once we selected those materials back in the spring of 2022, our teachers then over the summer went through rigorous training for the product that they were assigned. They embarked on at least a 1, even 2-day training where they were extensively trained on how to implement those products for the upcoming year. Each teacher implemented the products for a minimum of 2 quarters or 2 modules. And then we rated those products against our rubric. So on that rubric, the kind of guide that they were using to figure out which of these 2 products was the best fit, again, according to our Mount Healthy mission statement and our Mount Healthy pillars of math, These were the areas that they looked at. Was the product focused, coherent, rigorous? Were the instructional practices and mathematical practices aligned to what we had outlined as a collective group? Did it have access to technology? Was there an element of mastery within the student assessments? So on and so forth. In the next couple slides, I'll show you how both of our products actually rated. So this goes a lot to the work that the teachers did up front in selecting these two products and then implementing them. So these are how they rated them. First, under the areas of focus, coherence, and rigor, both products, as you can see, almost 100% aligned. I think the least is 89%, if I can see it that. So both products were extremely correlated to what we were looking for. They were extremely rigorous. They pushed our students higher and farther than what we had pushed them before according to our last product. It was exactly what we were looking for. The next area that they evaluated the products were on instructional practices. Were the practices that they were using to teach these procedural and conceptual ideas, were they aligned to what we were looking for? Were the students talking to each other? Were they solving problems? Were they seeking out problems? And again, you can see that both products were extremely aligned in that area. Again, mathematical practices, very, very much aligned. So nothing, both products that we had selected ultimately would do the job that we wanted them to do. And both products had assessments that were very much aligned to what we were looking for as we kind of moved towards a mastery-based assessment system. Both products provided assessments that would help us kind of move in that direction. So really it came down to one thing, and it came down to continuity. Continuity provides that consistent framework for students to build upon year after year after year. And if that continuity piece is not there, then there's the possibility of gaps in education, things kind of falling through the cracks. So for us, our junior high the year before had selected the product of illustrative math for 7th and 8th grade. So since our two products were so closely aligned in really kind of meeting the bar and the standard that we had set in all areas, for us, the most logical thing is to provide that continuity for our students so that no gaps in education would occur from that transition from elementary to junior high. So this is just a short video on the product that we are recommending.
To mathematics puts students at the center of their own learning. Rather than passively following steps and procedures, they actively engage in and do the math, resulting in deeper conceptual understanding. There are three key pillars of the illustrative mathematics problem-based instructional design: coherent progressions, balancing rigor, and instructional routines. Each unit, lesson, and activity has the same overarching design structure: an invitation to the mathematics, followed by a deep study of concepts and procedures, and finally, an opportunity to consolidate understanding of mathematical ideas. This coherence allows students to view mathematics as a connected set of ideas that make sense together. Achieving rigor in math involves balancing three processes: conceptual understanding, knowing the why behind the how; procedural fluency, being able to solve problems efficiently and accurately; and application, using these skills to solve problems. In illustrative mathematics, these processes are developed together throughout the units, lessons, and activities in ways that support student understanding. The curriculum features inclusive instructional routines to support equity and access and guide teachers in assessing student progress. They free up teachers to focus the energy they would have used on structuring activities for other things, such as student thinking and how mathematical ideas are playing out. The routines support students in connecting to the mathematics as they think, reason, and actively participate in their learning. In Imagine Learning Illustrative Mathematics, students engage in rich tasks that are relevant and engaging. In scenarios like measuring ingredient quantities in recipes or calculating a fair portion of a cake. It emphasizes collaboration, with students learning from each other and finding solutions to problems together. The teacher's role is vital, but it goes beyond explaining and correcting. Instead, teachers use the instructional routines and formative assessment tools to monitor and facilitate questions that reinforce understanding and help students to synthesize their learning at the end of the class. Benefits of problem-based learning include increased student satisfaction and confidence, which in turn results in deeper understanding and the development of adaptable skills that can be applied outside of the classroom as we prepare today's students to become tomorrow's innovators.
So with that, we in elementary would like to recommend that we adopt Imagine Learning's illustrative math program, and that's where we are. And thank you to our teachers. Miss Wakefield happened to be one of our pilot teachers that did not pilot that product, but I know she's happy that we're going with that product. But thank you to the teachers, and thank you, board, for this opportunity. Are there any questions?
I have 2 comments.
Sure.
First of all, that mission statement is a thing of beauty.
Awesome.
I loved that mission statement.
Great.
And second of all, I wish they had had this when I was in school.
I know, me too. Thank you. Any other questions? All right.
All right. Thank you very much. Anybody else want to present? Okay. I guess I'm next on the agenda. It's the Great Oaks Board meeting highlights for March the 8th. The meeting was held out at Diamond Oaks, where the majority of our students go. It was very delightful. The first thing is the groundbreaking for Honda and LG Energy Solutions factories in Fayette County. Harry Snyder, President, CEO, highlighted the groundbreaking ceremony for the LG Energy Solution and Honda battery factory being built in Fayette County. He did this on the 28th of February. The plant is located within our partnering Miami Trace Local School District and next to the destination. As soon as I figure out how to get this off of here onto a printer, I'll have paper. The destination outlet mall in Jeffersonville. This plant will be a tremendous asset for the region, boasting the state economy and providing good paying jobs. 23-24 school campus calendars were all approved, and that's for Diamond, Laurel, Live, Scarlet, and the Adult Workforce Development. Renovation of the Instructional Resource Center. The board approved the authorization to prepare specifications and advertise the bids for the Instructional Resource Center renovation located on the Scarlet Oaks Career Campus in Sharonville. And if you've ever been out there, it's that first building on your right that they're trying to renovate and use for adult education. The legislative report. Ohio Senate Bill 1 passed the Ohio Senate and went to the Ohio House for consideration. Senate Bill 1 will put the governor in charge of education policy in the state through the cabinet level position, rename the Department of Education as the Department of Education and Workforce, create the position of Director of Education and Workforce, and reform the functions and responsibilities of the State Board of Education and the Superintendent of Public Instruction. The Ohio House introduced House Bill 1, which would enact sweeping changes to property taxation, and income tax rates according to the OASBO, OSBA, and BASA. In the present version, the legislation would have a significant negative impact on traditional public schools and local government funding models. The House Ways and Means Committee began hearings on February the 28th. Awards and honors. The Great Oaks board members received honors at the Ohio School Board Association Southwest Regional Spring Conference. They had OSBA Stars, OSBA Star Awards for Training, and Veteran Board Members Award. That's the end of my report. Okay. The next one is the legislative report.
Well, you just read everything that I was gonna say in your Great Oaks report. They had all the same things, so it's exactly that.
Oh. You know, I didn't even look at this, thing you had given us. And you know what? We got a new guy that does the summary. And I guess he's never put legislative things in it before, so I thought it was strange. But anyway.
Well, it made mine easy. I'll just let him do it from now on.
I don't know if he'll do it again. Okay, report of the treasurer.
Thank you. Item A is recommendation to accept the schedule of bills for January 2023.
Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Do we have, any questions? Do we have roll call?
Mrs. Anderson?
Yes.
Ms. Bryant? Mrs. Ellis?
Yes.
Mr. Kilgore?
Yep.
Dr. Turner?
Yes.
Thank you. Item B is a recommendation to accept the financial statements for January 2023.
Get a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Oh, Kim said second.
Oh, okay. I didn't hear you.
Brian.
I can understand. Okay, any questions? Can we have roll call, please?
Mrs. Anderson?
Yes.
Ms. Bryant? Mrs. Ellis?
Yes.
Mr. Kilgore?
Yes.
Dr. Turner?
Yes.
Thank you. Item C is a recommendation to approve the following three new accounts: STEM Bicycle Club, Whisper Grant, and Day of Giving.
Okay, can we get a motion?
So moved.
She already said it, okay.
You have any questions?
I do. What's the STEM Bicycle
gonna-
Club?
Ms.
That's
Wakefield?
actually, my club at South. This is through UC. They, do the STEM Bicycle Club as well as the 3D printers. And in the Bicycle Club, we get bikes they order them from Walmart, and it's all, grant money and donations, and they've got tons of people that donate to it. So we get bikes shipped to us, from Walmart, and we learn about the different parts that go into a bicycle, the science that goes into it. They build their own bicycle, and they get to keep it.
Wow.
So Ms. Milbauer and I are doing it at South. It's happened at South as well as North, but it's all paid for by grants, including the teacher stipend, all of the materials, the toolboxes, money for snacks. It's just phenomenal. And it culminates with a bike ride down at UC, which unfortunately neither of the sponsors were able to go to, but hopefully in the future we'll be able to take the kids and do it together. So it's really fun. The kids are super excited.
Nice.
What grade is this, June?
We chose to open it up only to fifth grade. We wanted to do fifth grade girls, but we couldn't get enough interest, so it's fifth grade boys and girls. So I think we'll stick with probably just fifth graders in the future. That's the grade level that I teach. It just kind of helps with getting to know the kids a little better.
Oh,
But it's something that we can do every spring.
Okay.
And don't you have the Whisper Grant also?
Yes, that was the OEA grant that I just talked about.
Okay, then. I guess I was asleep. I don't know.
Yeah, I heard that. That's why I
Thank
didn't
you.
ask that.
Thank you.
Because I heard her talk about it. Okay, tell us Day of Giving.
I can tell about the Day of Giving. Lori Daniels has been working with the community at large, and as part of her role, she tries to seek donations for the district. So she is trying to do our very first Day of Giving where she will be sending out information to a lot of our alum, our businesses, our local areas that aren't just in Mount Healthy but surrounding areas, and they'll have the opportunity to give to our school district, to different organizations or projects that they're passionate about, and then we'll use those funds to continue the work in our district.
And when will that be?
It is April 20th, 19th. Thank you, Bryce. April 19th. So you'll see things coming. Bryce, was there anything you wanted to add to that? Okay. So you'll see more about this. And this is just our first test run with it. As it grows, you know, we can tap in, you know, we may have businesses that really want to support STEM work. And we can channel, they can see what projects we're doing, and then they can give money targeted towards things that they're passionate about. So we're excited but this is just our very first trial into it, working out some of the kinks through the process, but Lori's done a great job arranging that.
Mrs. Anderson?
Yes.
Ms. Bryant? Mrs. Ellis?
Yes.
Mr. Kilgore?
Yes.
Dr. Turner?
Yes.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Okay, now thank you, and we'll have the superintendent's report.
Great. Thank you, Ms. Ellis. So I appreciate that Laura shared with us all of the specifics with the math curriculum. That will be presented next month to officially vote on. Jana and Laura and her team are trying to negotiate some discounts for us, and so we're looking at most bang for our buck, how we can get the most resources. But you will see that coming next month based on what Laura presented tonight. The different change orders are listed. The first one is change order number 4, the kitchen equipment escalation. They just had to make some minor changes. No money associated with that, but actually change order 5 is a credit. So we're always happy to see that. We're able to get a credit back for some of the chairs. So that's just information related to the culinary edition. We have received several grants this month, and we are very excited about that. Kristen Yancey is actually with us tonight, and I just want to, Kristen is a grant writer for the district, and a lot of the grants that you see coming through are the result of Kristen's work, and so we're very appreciative of all of the work that she does for the district. The first one is the Ohio Department of Education Comprehensive Literacy State Development Grant for $54,345, and that will specifically support literacy coaching at the junior high. The next grant is the Ohio Department of Education McKinney-Vento Homeless Assistant Program. We received $200,000, so we're very excited about that. The next is the Ohio Department of Education ARP Homeless Round 2. We received $94,951.17. The next one is the Ohio Facilities Construction Commission Additional Round 4 Safety and Security Award. We received $100,000, and you remember in previous we had already received $400,000, so total of $500,000 that we have received to work on safety and security things in our district. Julie mentioned the next grant of $4,180. That is the Whisper grant, and we're excited about providing those items for our students, and again removing an obstacle that might cause students not to want to come to school. Hamilton County General Health District, we received a stipend for $5,750 to help support the implementation of evidence-based mitigation strategies for community resiliency. We received the donation of bikes, which Julie mentioned, for the STEM Bike Club from an anonymous donor. The top ladies of distinction were in our district and donated a book to every third grader at North and South Elementary. These books are biographies that depict famous leaders of color, and the students get to choose the book that they're really interested in, and they also get to keep that book. So we're excited about that. As an informational item, we are adding steps 11 to 15 through the administrative and exempt salary schedules, and we are going to eliminate the 15-year longevity step. That will come out. That was like an extra amount of money that people received if they had been here for 15 years. So that's, many of our administrators have hit the top of that, so we want to provide additional steps to encourage them to stay. So those are just some informational items and a lot of amazing grant money coming into the district. So we're very appreciative of the work of Connie and Kristen, and Dr. Diamond isn't here, but their team, the work that they've been doing really is making a difference in the district.
Can I interrupt for a second?
Yeah.
About the grants?
Yeah. Yeah, we are so excited. I mean, and Kristen has been just doing such amazing work with that. And and she does have one that she's working on that we made it through the first phase. We're really excited about that.
Yeah, it's like a round robin.
Yeah. So we're hoping to hear good news on that soon.
It'll be a few months.
Yeah. That's exciting. Item B is the recommendation to enter into a service agreement with Robin Nguyen as our gifted consultant. She's been working with the district a few years. The work that you've heard about with the math pentathlon and some of the other things Robin has been involved with, and we contract this service out. 115 days, 750 a day, and 8-hour days.
Can we get a motion to accept?
So moved.
Second.
Do you have any questions? Can we hear the vote, please?
Mrs. Anderson,
Yes.
Ms. Bryant, Mrs. Ellis,
Yes.
Mr. Kilgore,
Yes.
Dr. Turner,
Yes.
Great. Thank you. Item C is the recommendation to enter into a service agreement with Celine Quinn for student engagement 23-24 school year with a cost of $61,813.50. Celine has also been working a couple years with our students, so this is just a renewal of her work.
Okay, can we have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Any questions? Can we have roll call, please?
Mrs. Anderson,
Yes.
Ms. Bryant, Mrs. Ellis,
Yes.
Mr. Kilgore,
Yes.
Dr. Turner,
Yes.
Thank you. Item D is the recommendation to accept the following donation for the Mount Healthy Math Pentathlon Group. We received $330 donated by Square Mile Coffee Company and $200 from Dwight Moody Insurance Agency, and we're very appreciative of the donations and the support to our school.
Can we have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Any questions? Can we have roll call, please?
Mrs. Anderson,
Yes.
Ms. Bryant, Mrs. Ellis,
Yes.
Mr. Kilgore,
Yes.
Dr. Turner,
Yes.
Thank you. Item E is the recommendation to approve Peck and Hannaford and Briggs Service Corporation to replace boiler number 4 at the junior senior high building. The cost is $75,392.
Can we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Is there any questions? Can we have roll call, please?
Mrs. Anderson,
Yes.
Ms. Bryant, Mrs. Ellis,
Yes.
Mr. Kilgore,
Yes.
Dr. Turner,
Yes.
Thank you. Item F is the recommendation to enter into the software subscription renewal agreement with Aubrey to provide educational software for administrators, teachers, students, and parents. The total cost $66,242. Aubrey is what we currently use.
Can we get a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Any questions? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Anderson,
Yes.
Ms. Bryant, Mrs. Ellis,
Yes.
Mr. Kilgore,
Yes.
Dr. Turner,
Yes.
Thank you. Item G is the recommendation to enter into a service agreement with Hamilton Claremont Cooperative Association, or HCC, to provide internet services to Mount Healthy City Schools for 5 years. The total cost is $123,820,000. The federal E-rate program subsidizes this cost per year. Great. Thank you. Joe?
Okay, can we get a motion?
So moved, I'm sorry. I'll read.
Same thing. That works.
Say, yep, works.
Okay, who's second?
Ms.
Yeah.
Bryant.
Okay. Y'all have any questions? Can we get a roll call, please?
Mrs. Anderson?
Yes.
Ms. Bryant? Mrs. Ellis?
Yes.
Mr. Kilgore?
Yes.
Dr. Turner?
Yes.
Item H is the consent agenda.
Everybody get a chance to look at it? Okay, could I get a motion?
So moved.
Second.
You have any questions about anything? Okay, can we have roll call, please?
Mrs. Anderson?
Yes.
Ms. Bryant? Mrs. Ellis?
Yes.
Mr. Kilgore?
Yes.
Dr. Turner?
Yes.
And that's the end of my report.
Okay. Anything on 12, 13, and 14 y'all want to talk about? Okay. The date of the next Board of Education meeting will be Monday, April the 17th at 6 p.m. right back here. Do we have a motion for adjournment?
So moved.
Second.
I know y'all ain't got no question. Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.